I felt like I was driving in Bangkok and I was lost. Okay, it's like shit. Which way do I go? Which way do I go? Every time I stopped, I planted my toe on the ground with my heel up in the air because I didn't want my Achilles to get snapped by a cart. People were driving around with just like, I gotta get this done now look on their faces. I was like, 2 people I got smiles out of, and they were the same people that I had conversations with about nothing, you know. Hey, how's it going? Great, blah, 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 blah. I couldn't believe it. I get it. They're in the rat race, right? Monday through Friday. This was a Saturday. They work all week. They do all their shit. They got Saturday to take care of crap, and then Sunday to kind of recover, get ready for work. That's the rat race. And I thank my lucky stars that I'm not in that. But my word, people were grumpy. Just sourpuss. Like someone just pissed in their cornflakes or their dog just got ran over. You know what I mean? I mean, just upset. Even couples with each other, looking at each other like, God dang it, man. Maybe it's because I'm anticipating some, you know, changes. But I'll tell you what, man. Unbelievable. Now, at Wally World, I call it, Walmart, the day before I went, I had a small shopping list for my landlord and her husband. They're like, I want this. He said, I want log cabin syrup. It's the best. No preservative, all natural, right? And I said, you actually believe labels? You know? We were joking around, and I said, yeah, okay. And then he says, oh, maybe not. It might be a bad idea, you know. It might blow up in your suitcase, and you get syrup everywhere. And I said, dude, I'm going to put it in a freaking gallon Ziploc freezer bag, double wrap it, you know. Hey, worst case, I got laundry to do. But then they decided on McCormick maple extract. And then they wanted some powdered enchilada stuff and guacamole mix, powdered guacamole mix, which I honestly have never even heard of. I've always made my own guac, you know. And pico de gallo, stuff like that. But, okay, I'll get that. And I got on some fancy vitamins and shit. And then I looked around for some stuff for me. Oh, and candy. Holy crap. Okay, I'm no economist, but last year when I was here, a box of Milk Duds was 99 cents. Now they're $1.49. And it's kind of like that with everything else. 40 to 50% increase. I mean, I was like, whoa. I used to get that all the time. Nope. So I'm like, I can get it in Thailand, right? But I've got X amount of weight I can bring back. I can bring 2 bags, 23 kilos each, right? 2 suitcases. This is going to run long. I apologize, but just stick with me. So, a domestic flight in Thailand is 7 kilos in the plane. That's it. Now, if you want more, you can go, at least on Thai Vietjet, 20, 30, or no, 10, 20, and 23 kilos, or 10, 15, and 23, I think, underneath. And you can buy as many bags as you want, but you can't go over a certain amount of weight because of, you know, physical restraints. or restrictions. Don't be start thinking physical restraints to getting all kinky on me. So I said, okay, I'm gonna pay for my flight and I'm gonna buy 20 kilos for in the hold, right? Because I have 2 suitcases that I don't like, but 2 suitcases and one fits inside the other. So I came down to Bangkok with those 2 suitcases, one stuffed inside the other. There was like 3 pairs of underwear and a couple shirts and my shaving kit. That's it. To go under the belly, right? And then my carry-on. So, but when I come back, I've got a scale. I am going to be right on the freaking money. I'm going to make sure I have a kilo. I weigh them a kilo under. But my scale, everything I weighed when I went to the airport was identical. I was like, man, this thing's accurate. Got it off Lazada, or Lazada, if you want to call it that. So, I'm coming back with 2 full bags, international. And when I get to the international end, I'm going to go to the far end, past S, T, U, and possibly V in Terminal 2. And then if you hang a left, there's the post office, right? And there's some, before you even get there, there's sorting tables. So I'll already have everything kind of like pre-sorted. Okay, this I need and this I don't need. At any rate, whatever won't go on the plane, I'm mailing. And it will be there. Last time they said, 2 to 3 days. The very next morning, I get a knock on the door. And it was my stuff from Bangkok. So I'm like, awesome. So I bought some Costco dogs, and I have them in the freezer. And I'm going to put them in a Ziploc bag. Because you can't import raw meat. If you get caught, they're going to confiscate it or fine you or both. But I'm bringing back a package of Costco dogs. I'm freezing them. There's enough preservatives in them, you know. So by the time I get back, they'll be thawed. But I don't care. I can refreeze them. It's not going to taste any different. So, because I'm like, if I ever have a craving for a Costco dog, by golly, I'm going to have it. And plus my pepperoni sticks that I always bring back. And and then the candy. The candy's for friends, and a little bit for me. But again, you can get all of it. I can get in Thailand. It's just through the roof cost wise, but so that's good because it keeps me from going and eating a bunch of candy all the time. Oh, bit of good news. All my labs came back perfect. I mean, like flipping perfect. And I was surprised. I said, I know my A1 because I'm diabetic. You guys all know I'm diabetic. I said, I know my A1C is going to be high because after my mom died, there was a bunch of extenuating circumstances, family issues, right? And every freaking day, I've told a bunch of my friends this, but every single day, I was eating a big Snickers bar from 7-Eleven. You know, the 20 baht, now 22, now they're 24 baht, okay? Inflation. And a bubble tea, okay, which is like pure sugar. Every night I was medicating, okay? And then finally I got out of that funk, right? And, but I thought, your A1C is the true indicator of your blood levels, your insulin, glucose spikes and levels and shit. So my A1C was below the high, well under, and all my cholesterols and all that crap, good to go. because of my history of kidney stones, I had to have ultrasounds, which I just had done in Thailand. I says, you're going to find 3 kidney stones over here waiting to be born, and a couple over here on the left. And the lady's like, how did you know that? And I said, I can actually feel them. I sense them. She's like, really? I said, no. I said, my eyes are brown. I'm full of shit. Okay? I just had it done in Thailand not 2 months ago, And I forgot the freaking paperwork to give so they could log it into the system. Because, although Thailand is quite proficient with their technology pertaining to medical care, they cannot email scans or any of that kind of shit. You got to buy a CD and buy the records. Pay for them to print the records and hand deliver them. I'm like, come on. All this bragging I do about medical treatment in Thailand, which I've been fortunate enough to have really good help, but I've had to pay for it because I'm not FMP, Foreign Medical Program. I'm not, like I said, I'm not retired. I'm not on disability, like so many of my friends. But yeah. My sister wants to feed me. The coffee's doing it, but I'll go in, and she doesn't watch YouTube, so. Oh my God, this is delicious. No, she's actually a good cook. Anyway, so yeah, I made it to Seattle safe. The heavy waiting period was just by. I knew I had a long wait in Bangkok because coming from Chiang Rai to Bangkok, they have early in the morning flights and late afternoon flights to Bangkok. Pretty much it for all the airlines, within 5 or 10 minutes of each other. And my flight departing Bangkok to Taiwan and to Seattle left at 16:45. So I had to be there in the morning or be there the night before. And I did not want to fly down the night before, get a room, do all this stuff. Well, I'll tell you what. Next time, I'm getting a freaking room. Because I couldn't check my bag until 13:30. And so I had to lug that damn thing around. Couldn't go through security. Couldn't do nothing. I'm in the madhouse where everybody's running around not knowing where they're at. So I went up to the Sky Lounge. It said Sky Lounge, and it's like, whoa, some long-ass freaking escalators. And then you got to walk up these long traversing ramps, I said, man, this view better be good. And I get up there. There's nowhere to plug in your charger. There's no restroom. There's no snack stands, buy overpriced food or whatever. Nothing. Just seats and windows. I was like, they really thought this out. Anyway, so I went up there and killed a bit of time and then got bored and went down and kind of moseyed around, walked around a little bit, and then went to the gate or to the check-in counter so I could check my bag, buy one under the belly bag. And did that. And both flights, they called me out of line. My pass, I had an electronic boarding pass on my phone. It wouldn't scan. Beep, beep, beep. Everything lights up red. Even though I've got facial recognition. Beep, 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 beep. And they're looking at each other like, oh my God. And then the one lady goes, I don't know what she said, but basically, it's okay. And she came over with an already pre-printed ticket. with my seat number, a new seat number, because I paid $5 for an aisle seat, $5 extra, because I'm like, I hate climbing over people, even though a short flight. I just freaking hate it. So, and then I can put a leg out in the aisle, right? But anyway, they didn't have a row 11 on this plane, and that was where I was sitting. So they put me in row 10, which turned out to be an exit row. And it was the outside window side, or the door side. And I got that perfect view. and I really, really paid attention to the safety inspection or safety demonstration or whatever. She was doing the phone, da, 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 and all the rest of them down the aisle were doing the click on the seatbelt, pulling it over here, dropping the fake, the oxygen masks and shit. She was doing that part while I'm filming her. And she knew I was filming her. So she's like, obviously no stage fright, but she's probably thinking, this guy's a pervert. When she finished, I said, thank you, Mary Cupcoon. I'm not joking. She laughed. Okay. I mean, they're attractive. Even the men are good looking. I'm like, man, I should be so lucky. You know what I mean? To get like that, I would really, really, really have to hit the gym. I mean, seriously. Some of it's genetics, but the rest of it's McDonald's or whatever. I'm drinking a white coffee, okay? Blonde. It's a blonde. And it has a sugar-free coconut syrup in it, which is probably full of carcinogens, but gosh, it is good. And my friend in the Seattle area gave me 3 of these. This is a 20. I've got a 30 and a 40 ouncer. But they're black. They're kind of like this. Kind of goes with my vibe, My heart is black. But anyway. So, I'll stay here through dinner. I don't know what time it gets dark. Probably 7 p.m. And then I'm heading back to Seattle. Checking the Best Western. My daughters, they've got a remodel going on. It's like, you know how it is. Plastic partitions everywhere, and you're cramped. And my son's condo it's a 2-bedroom condo, but the one is his office and his wife's office, or fiance's office. The other one's a bedroom. It's no room, right? I could sleep on the couch, but I'm like, nah, I don't. Because I'm up all night, either looking at my phone or just not sleeping. In Thailand, I'm like that. So I'm like, nah, I don't want to put you out, I really, really, really. And of course, my sister wanted me to stay with her too, like one in Seattle. Actually, in Renton. She works for Boeing. And she's like 5 minutes from work, which a friend of mine in the chat is 5 minutes from work. He loves it because he works the same shift as she does. He works at a different plant, but he's like 3 minutes from home. So when he drives at night, which I don't like to do, he's like, man, I'm home in 3 minutes and I'm good to go. So yeah, but my sister's forever saying, oh man, I hate it when I leave, because as soon as I get out of the parking lot, there's no lights for a mile, and then there's street lights, because she's, you get older. But so yeah, I'm happy. I'll make another video. It'll be long because I can't stop babbling. But I wanted to get something scheduled. I've got a bunch of shorts. And I'm not talking about the ones I got at Costco. I'm talking about short videos. Boom, boom, boom. For tomorrow and boom, boom, boom the next day. They're all from the VA. I'm just walking around the building, trying not to film people, but just talking, like walk and talks. So put them all together if you want, or skip, don't watch, whatever. I'm not gonna pout. Now, on a serious note, I appreciate every one of you, okay? My subscribers, and now I even have members. I'm just like, 6 months ago, I did not anticipate this, okay? And, I'm just like flabbergasted how anyone would want to sit and look at my mug talking about nothing. When I do, I lose my train of thought 9 times out of 10. I'm like, what was I talking about? You know what I mean? Heavy pauses, thinking, God dang it, what was I talking about? But I'm doing fine now. But I want to thank everybody, even those that aren't subscribed. Obviously, YouTube, it comes up in their feed. Either you're subscribed and you have the bell hit or partially hit or no notices, whatever. And that's fine. But the analytics show that 49% of the people that actually watch my videos are not subscribed. So they're just getting the feed because they maybe watch somebody that I'm affiliated with, right? Or it's something similar in the title, whatever. Wow, she's closing the garage door now. That must mean screw you, we're eating lunch. My brother-in-law's a big guy. He's got 4 inches in height on me, and lovely man. I tell you what, I love the guy. I really do. I'd like to tell you some stories about him. Maybe I will in the next video. What the hell? But I appreciate everyone watching and commenting. People commenting. Obviously that helps me, helps the channel. Hey, I looked at my my revenue. Dude, you got to get like over $100 or something before YouTube pays out. But I'm up to like $2.43. I'll tell you what, man. Snickers at 7. Coming to you soon. I'm doing it for the fun. But if YouTube wants to give me money, what am I going to do? Say no? Right? So sometimes I'll have videos that say, boom, copyright. This doesn't affect you, but it's revenue sharing. It's not a strike. Don't panic. But you're not getting any money from it. The guy who has the music is. And I just go, I don't give a shit. In my head I do. Because I like that going with my one video that my friend made. I did not make any of my intros, okay? I did not. My friend just took it upon himself and said, here, take a look at this. And I open it up and I play it and I'm going, holy crap, dude. He said, you can use them if you want. They're all yours. I said, holy crap. So literally every intro my friend made. And I said, I've asked him a dozen times, dude, I want to give you praise in a video. Say, hey, my friend X did this, right? Nope. He didn't do it for that. He did it because he's a friend. He's like Daz. Okay? Daz is a friend. No drama. Easy to travel with. Just fun to be around because there's no bullshit. Now, if I talk politics or something, feel free to weigh in, okay? As long as I'm not asking, start giving opinions on politics, because I'll just delete it. I won't block, okay? But I was like, no, we're not going that way. But if I bring up like the protests going on in Seattle, holy shit. I was like, I started seeing some people on the side of the road, and then all of a sudden it's busier and busier. Oh my God. And I'm talking podunk, okay? I'm not talking downtown Seattle. I'm talking 25 miles east of Seattle, okay? Hundreds. Easily. Probably more. But easily hundreds of people. Yeah. 50, that's 200. So hundreds, plural. Fuck fascism. Fuck Trump. Fuck you. You know, fuck the king and all this kind of shit. And I'm like, how productive is that? You know, seriously. It's like, it doesn't matter who wins an election.